Hey dandelions, and welcome back to Rambles and Makeup with your rambling host, DohiSama. Yes, it is a giraffe suit. Yes, I'm hot. Yes, it is a giraffe makeup. We're doing a giraffe face paint today, something I've always wanted to do. So please grab your brushes, grab your makeup, and your notepads, because today we're going to be talking about Weathering with You, the anime that has touched my heart and my soul. So meet me in the bathroom. All right, chickadees. Welcome back. Today, as I've stated, we are doing a giraffe look. Once again, I don't anticipate that it will be long. I don't anticipate it. But we all know I can get on carried away, okay? Um, I am going to talk about weathering with you today, like the final version of it, or I guess the updated, true version of everything that happened. Also, so sorry that I move all over the place. Like, whenever I'm editing videos, I'm always thinking to myself, why did you not just stay still? Like, why are you chaotic, okay, in your recordings? The fan is back on. It's gonna be a thing. So once again, apologies for the noise, but I know y'all don't want me to pass out, right? Because I don't want to pass out. So it's gonna be a giraffe look. I'm I'm hoping it's gonna fly by, especially because Weathering with You, not a lot of characters, but that means I get to ramble. Okay, so first starters, I was if I had to give myself a score out of 100, I feel like I was 85% right. That is great for me. To me, 85% is like, you must be doing something right. Yes, we were. So let's get into it, shall we? In Weathering with You, I the main character, his name is Hodaka. No, not Hokada. Hodaka. Hodaka Morishima. That is his name. So Hodaka is running away from home. He okay, so when it starts off, let me backtrack. I tell y'all that this girl, who we later find out is Hina, she's at the hospital, and I assumed that the person she was with was Hodaka. I lied. It was not him. It was not. She was with her mom, and we'll get into that later. So she does go out. She chases the sun or whatever, and you know, she ends up saying like she runs to the top where these like red gates are. She ends up going up there and like seeing the water and stuff like that in the rain. And so Hodaka, he is also on a boat. I'm on a boat. Hey, I'm on a boat. Remember that? He's on a boat too. And he is about to get shipwrecked into the water because everybody is going inside because of the storm coming. And Hodaka's like, I just want to see the storm and be one with the storm. Because right on. So he's about to landslide. And Kisuke, Suga, he saves him. And so Hodaka ends up buying this man meals because, you know, you need to do kind to the one who just saved your life. Like, why wouldn't you? So, anywho's, they meet, and honestly, Pimp Daddy Kisuke over here, he's trying to extort little baby. All right, asking him to buy him beer, and he knows he's a minor, and I'm just sitting here like, but so he buys him food, they eat and talk, and he asks him like, what are you doing in Tokyo? And so Hodaka is lying, and he's like, I'm here to see relatives because my school got out early. And Kisuke is like, right, okay, so if you ever need anything, here's my business card. So it was going well for young Hero H at first. Remember from last week, young Hero H? At first, it was pretty wicked. Like, you know, things were going. Also, I know I showed the picture, but I have a different idea for how I want to do this. So bear with me while I started. So Hodaka, he is a minor. All right, he's young. And so he's trying to figure out basically how to live this life in Tokyo. Hodaka, he is like trying to find work. And like he's asking online, how can I get these? How do I get jobs? You know, being a kid. Because, yeah, those are just questions that you know, ask online. Okay. Let's hold this on. Let me go do something else first. And so, unfortunately, well, somebody tells him, like, you can work at clubs or whatever. You could be like an adult club worker. We're going to choose our words carefully here. So Hodaka is trying to go and become an adult, or like work, you know, like as a bodyguard or something. And essentially, everybody's telling him, like, you're out of your mind if you think for like 1 second we are going to give you this job. And poor Hodaka, like, you know, they're yelling at him and reading him his rights, telling him to get out or whatever. And I'm like, this poor baby, he just wants a job, you know? And so he was reading The Catcher in the Rye. I know I mentioned that last week. He was reading that book. And he was talking about like how his money finally ran out, and you know, basically about what it was that he was about to try to you know, accomplish in life. And he at first didn't even have like a lot of places to stay. A lot of people wouldn't let him stay with them because he was minors, and like, you know, they get in trouble for housing minors. And even at one point, like the police were like, are you like um lost or like a runaway? And he takes off running, and they're like, hey, get back here, like, you can't run away from us. And I'm thinking, I would have ran away from you too, officer. Cause anywho's, so Hodaka here, he ends up sleeping um in like the streets in this trash area. So this pimp named Slickback over here, Kumura, he sees Hodaka like laying there. And he's like, are you a worker or something? And Hodaka's like, no, I'm so sorry, like, I'll go. He proceeds to get up, and Kimura here kicks him down over trash. And when the women try to go help him, he's like, leave him be, let him alone. You should have left him alone. Why didn't you leave him be, huh? Why were you the one chasing him? Who made you, God? Anywho's, so before this, he met this cat, the cat I told you about last week. We still love that cat. So anywho's, after this happens, Hodaka, you know, is looking through the trash or whatever, trying to see what he can gather out of the trash, and I'm assuming eat, you know, like see what it is he can eat. He's hungry, he's starving, you know, like all of that jazz. And so he finds this gun, right? And he ends up getting like a little shifty eyed and suspicious, so he like puts it in his backpack, and like, you know, he takes it with him. And right, he shouldn't be taking guns. I agree with you wholeheartedly. If you don't know what you're grabbing, or you're grabbing at a firearm, please don't play with it. I can tell you from experience, playing with guns is not something you want to do. Take it from me, okay? And so Hodaka over here, he is, yes. So Hodaka, he's trying to thrive and survive, right? He's trying to find food. He's trying to, like hope, and he ends up at this McDonald's, and he's GPSing. Okay, so Hodaka's out here thriving and surviving, and one night while he's sitting here reading this pamphlet, this girl drops him off this burger, and he's like, "What is this for?" And she's like, "You come in here all the time, and all you ever get is soup. It's on the house, but don't tell nobody." And she walks off and she leaves. So he ends up going to the house to see Kizuke, but instead he ends up meeting Natsumi. Now, ooh, this baby child, she hang on guys. Yeah. So he's grateful and he is like tearing this burger up. And this poor kid, he was like, "I think this is the best thing I've eaten in all my life." Y'all, seriously, this story, it brought out so many emotions, and I hope I don't cry when I talk about my feelings at the end. But anywho's, racing on. So I told you I be shifting. I'm gonna try to focus here like this. So he goes to meet Suga, and he sees Natsumi there. And she's like, "Do you want to know?" First of all, she knew he was an intern. Then she was like, "Do you want to know about me and Kisuke?" She's like, "It's exactly what you think it is." So I'm like, oh, scandalous. Like, they are out here being scandalous. And so she's teasing him. She's like, "Oh, you're looking at my boobs and da 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 da." And this poor kid is just having it. And so Kisuke comes and he's like, "You're looking for a job, right? Like, this is what we have." And so, what I was reading a wiki, apparently Kisuke and them, they are like cult investigators. But to me, it just looked like they paparazzi. They write articles, they trying to find out scoops about stuff for entertainment, like what we have now. So he starts interviewing people with Natsumi. Hodaka does, and he also becomes like their personal assistant. So he like washes around the house, like, cleans up and cooks for them and stuff. And at first he wasn't gonna do it, but Kisuke was like, "It's a live-in position. Like, you don't have to leave. You can live here. Meals are free, whatever." And so he does. He stays there, and they start trying to interview people about these crazy weather phenomenons. And so Natsumi, this pretty baby girl, she is in love with folklore and fairy tales. And I mean, who isn't? You know what I'm saying? Because, like, Slender Man was my baby for like 30 years of my life. I'm not even 30, but you get the point. Like, Slender Man, I was there. And I know, right? Nobody should ever be willing to go with Slender Man, but hey-o. Anywho's, so Natsumi is believing that she may be this infamous sunshine girl. Now, the sunshine girl can apparently bring sunshine, and in this city in Tokyo, all it is doing is raining. Oh, Hodaka comes from Kozushima. That's where he ran away from, that region. So this fortune teller lady is telling him about like the Sunshine Girl and like the legends and stuff. And Natsumi's like, "Maybe that's me." And the lady's like, the Sunshine Girl, like, has to be careful not to go overboard on her powers. And Natsumi's like, "Oh, I'm gonna be so careful. Like, I'm not gonna do this." And I'm like, "Natsumi, shut up. But so they are looking for the Sunshine Girl. And so one day, Hodaka, he's out on his own. First of all, he's named the cat Ame, which means rain, which, fight me, I'm gonna use that for something. That's so pretty to me. Like, Ame, I love the way it's spelled. I love the way it sounds. I just love it. I love everything about it. That is such a pretty word to me. But, it's better because if you just say rain in English, it's like rain. But if you say Ame, Hodakas, I don't even know what that was, but like, doesn't it sound like Ame? Anywho's, before I get too lost in that rabbit hole, he is out here searching for stories, and he runs across the girl from McDonald's who like gave him the food, and he notices that she is with this guy, and the guy is the one from the other night, you know, in front of like the establishment that pushed him. And so he's like, you're gonna do great at this, like you're gonna be lovely at it, and da 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 da. So he's about to pimp out homegirl. So Hodaka's like, nah, not my baby squeeze, not my cherry pie. And Hodaka like steps in, you know, cause right on Hodaka. This guy is like chasing Hodaka, because Hodaka is running with baby girl Hina, and he's like, you will not pass. And so they get caught. They get caught so quick. It was sad. But so when the guy, a pimp named Slickback, catches him, he is once again mollywhopping poor Hodaka. And Hodaka is out here just trying to be a good, you know, a good guy. And so the guy is like, what is this? He's like, are you the brat that, you know, was sleeping in front of my store? Like, is this payback for something? You know, just assuming the worst of Hero H. And so Hero H is like, stop, like, you need to leave this girl alone. And he's like, or what? Like, what are you gonna do about it? And so Hodaka over here, he pulls out, pew, pew, pew. It's a 22. He pulls it out, right? And he fires. The guy's like, this is not real. Like, what is this, a toy gun? Like, what do you think you're doing with yourself, mister? And so Hodaka is like, shots fired. He fires the shots, and everybody's stunned. Everybody's left flabbergasted. So finally the girl, she picks him up and she's like, come on, let's go. And they run away. So when they get to the building, the abandoned building she takes him to, she's like, is this a thank you for the meal I gave you? Like, is this the way you say thank you? Why do you have a gun? And so Hodaka's like, I thought it was a fake. Like, I just wanted to scare people. I didn't want people pushing over on me. Because right on, Hodaka. So she's like, you seriously need help. Like, that is not how you treat people, and da da da. And like, she proceeds to leave. Loki was about to hate Hina. Like, for like 2 seconds, I had forgot that I already watched the movie, and my fire was rekindled with this lady. I felt to her like Maka feels to her dad. Like, I was enraged, but it got better. So she comes back, and she's like, I lost my part-time job. And she was saying how she needed, you know, more work. Which, okay, understandable, lady. You needed work, but that is not a good line of work. Why? Gonna get to that. So, not judging, by the way, but just saying, like, there's better options. You don't have to sell yourself, you know? And so, she's talking to him, and she's asking him, like, does his face hurt or whatever? And he's like, no. And like, he starts breaking down crying, because he honestly does feel bad that like he messed her life up. And she's laughing. This kid, she's off her rocker. She's laughing and telling him how cute he is, and da 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 da. And they end up, he ends up going back home. So the next day, I believe, he's on a, but first of all, he's on a bus. Let me jump back to this part. And he sees this little kid. And this boy, first of all, I thought it was a girl, but it was a boy with long hair. He's talking to one girl, and she's like, I was hoping I was gonna see you. And he was like, did you do your hair different? Like, you look so much better. She gets off the bus, another girl gets on, and Hodaka's like, oh, scandalous. And so, yeah, Hodaka ends up going back to see baby child, love interest, and these people are talking while he's going to see her, and they're like, you know, it's not good for the both of them living there by themselves. Like, no good can come from it. And this girl has already told, oh, that's what happened. So she asks, I hope I'm getting this timeline right. She asks Hodaka, excuse me, is this the right place? If he likes Tokyo. And he's like, yeah. She's like, well, you can't really enjoy it with all this rain. So she takes him on the rooftop, and she's like, it's gonna like clear up now. And so he sees that she is actually the confirmed sunshine girl. And he's like, oh my God, you're not just a legend. Like, you're really real, and you're really here, and you're not just a made up fictional anime character that I could never have in my life. Like, you are real. And so that's really how they like hit it off so great. So he goes to her house, he brings snacks or whatever. Ame's living with them, and she is like, I'm gonna make us a meal if you don't mind. And he's like, sure, wicked, feed me my love. So then she tells him like she's 18, her younger brother, she's taking care of him. Hodaka is 16, so like he's believing that she really is his elder. Me too, Hodaka. So she's asking him how he likes Tokyo and like why he left home, and he's like, I felt suffocated, nothing was going right. And like when I was reading, and I kind of figured this too, but when I was reading over it, apparently his dad was abusing him, which that ain't even cool, man, but we're gonna get there. So the brother comes home and he's like, who is this guy? And Hodaka is like, you are a playboy. And so Hodaka is trying to convince Hina to be the sunshine girl, because he's like, well, you need a job, right? This way you can make money and be safe and away from creepy people and like live your best life. And so Hina, she's really nervous about it. She's like, I don't know if I can do this. And he's like, I'm gonna help you. So they create these business plans, right? They create these business plans, and he also designs her a mascot. It is the cutest thing, and her little brother is the one that's in the mascot. So yeah, first of all, let's talk about these prices in Tokyo, because they were going to charge people like $50, and I know like that's so much money in Tokyo, but I'm like, $50 for my services? Like, can you imagine somebody coming up to you in America being like, I need you to clear up the rain for $50? Who do you think you are? Who do you think I am? Matter of fact. But over there, they were making bank. Okay, even the shower was like $2.80, and I was like, this is why I miss Korea, because in America, it just ain't mathing right. But so the first time they go to do a show or an event or whatever, at first it doesn't seem like it's gonna work. Like, it's pouring down rain. It's a flea market event, and they're trying to make the rain come, and I mean the sunshine come, and the sun is not coming. Okay, so the guy's like, send him away, send him away. We tried, but it's not gonna work. Send him away. Like, you're wasting my valuable time. So they're about to get ready to send them away, but then she grits down together, she gets it together, and guess what? The sun is shining on them. It is a beautiful moment. It really is. So they are starting this up. They are making money off being a sunshine girl. Natsumi is trying to get a job, and Natsumi is laying into Kisuke because he is not paying Hodaka a lot of money. She's like, this is against child labor laws and da da da. It's a thing. So we pan back out to Kisuke, and he is actually talking with his mother-in-law. He is trying to see his daughter, and his mom is like, no, because it's not good for her right now. Like, you're making a bad example. You're a smoker. You can't be around her, and you're a smoker. She can't go outside with all this rain. Like, it's a thing. Hang on. They're bringing sunshine to people. It's a whole family event, like they're out here making sure people are enjoying their days. Now while this is going on, the police starts to look for Hero H. And the one with the Johnny Bravo haircut that I'm still so pressed about, his name is Takashi. And he grinds several of my gears, quote Family Guy there. But they stop to talk to you about something. And the guy's like, I did not know she was underage. And like, they basically, get on his head, because he's like, we're not even questioning you, like, about that. Which, that pissed me off, because why are you letting this man off the hook for trying to pimp an underage girl? Like, you are okay with that, but you're not okay with the fact that somebody shot a gun to get her away from him. What is your morals? Why are you ass backwards, okay? Like, I feel like I cannot put that in, like child-friendly terms, because you shouldn't be the way you are. Like, a crime is a crime, and underage things is a crime. Like, investigate this man. And so they ask him about the boy, like about if he knows where they are or what have you. And yeah, they're trying to connect him to this other dude who committed a crime, and like they're talking about how apparently he's missing. His parents filed like a missing report, which wild. So, anywho's, um, they're still getting together, him and baby child and the brother. Like, they're still making it rain. They're still having a good time. You know, the whole shebang. So they meet this elderly couple, which it was the sweetest thing ever. It was this elderly woman, and she wants the sunshine up so that way, like, she can see her husband because, you know, he had passed or whatever. So she wanted to do this memorial for him and needed the sun. And y'all, apparently her grandson that makes a cameo in here is in this other movie that me and my friend want to watch called Your Name. But Your Name has like, it's already in English on my app, so I might just do a review of it because I'm interested to see what's going on. So they get that together. He's thinking about what he should give her, like what gift and everything like that. And so the police show up at no, before this, they're in the park, right? And so they're talking or whatever, they're hanging out at the park because this guy requested like sunshine for his daughter. The guy was Kisuke, and Natsumi was the one who told him like he has a part-time job because like you're not paying him. So he's out here playing with his daughter Mako. What is it? Mocha. So Mocha, now the wife died. She died tragically, and this is the thing that gets me about Kisuke. If I could rant about him, he ran away from his home as well to go to Tokyo, which is where he meets his wife and like starts his life. So that's why I thought he was sympathizing with Hero H so much, because he knew what it was like, you know, like his wife passed, he's trying to get custody of his daughter, what have you. So they're teasing him about Hina, and Natsumi is like, okay, he was telling Kisuke like, does she know like that you're married? Does Natsumi know? And he's like, that's my niece. And I was like, oh, because I felt dumb. I felt like arrow after arrow was being like jabbed into my body. Like it was bad. But so that is his niece. I lied. We was wrong all along about that one. That's his niece. And she loves teasing Hodaka, and she's like, he's such a sweet kid, like y'all are such a good couple, you know, may the stars align for you, the whole shiblibbity bang. So the police are going to investigate. Okay, so back up. One sweet moment that they had was she told him like, I am so glad that you came into my life because you gave me purpose and meaning. And I was like, so the police come and there's like, where's this man? And she's like, I don't know what man you're talking about. Then they proceed to tell her like, aren't you underage? You and your brother gotta go. Like, we're taking him to Child Protective Services. No, this is not okay. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, she's 18 though. Like, I'm pretty sure with every law there is, like, 18 is like the adult age, and I feel like for America that's the oldest age, because I've read in some places where you can be like 13 and be considered legal. So I'm like, anywho's, Hodaka is like, let's run away together because I'm not going home. So Kisuke, he meets him and he's like, you cannot be here anymore. You need to go home and grow up and realize like this is no place for a kid. Like, you're not a kid anymore. Like, or like you're not an adult, you're still a kid. Like, you need to stay in a kid's place. And that just made me so mad because once again, you did the same thing. So how are you gonna sit here and if it was coming from like a strict place of goodness, I wouldn't have minded. But you are simply concerned about yourself and your daughter, and like, right, because you want to get her back, but you're still smoking and drinking. So where in the world do you get off thinking you can lecture somebody else when you're down here with your own demons that you're not handling? Especially when, instead of offering him like sound logical advice, like, hey man, I did this before, like, you might want to wake up. You just tell him to go home because he's a kid. Like, that's what's wrong with the word. Tell him the truth. Like, educate him why that's not a good idea. Anyways, I said last week that he called Nagi senpai, and it's because Nagi, like, he knows the moves when it comes to the ladies. Okay, bye like amigo. Anywho's, he knows the moves. So Hodaka's like, I am not going home. Leave me alone. Let's run away together. So Hina's like, you want to run away together? And he's like, we're going to run away together, babe. So they do. They run away together, and Hero H, you get some cool points for me for that. So when they run away, they're trying to find places to stay. And every place is kind of like, you're a child, go home. Like, we literally cannot house you here legally, sirs and ma'ams, because we will go to jail. We're all going to be in jail. So they finally find a place where they can, like, rest. And, you know, like, they get in the shower, they get in the bath or whatever, take a bath, and they're enjoying the night. And like I say, Hodaka, Hero H here, he brought homegirl a ring, and he's like, I just want you to, you know, like, remember me, and we'll always be together, and da-da-da-da. And she drops the ball, and she's like, you also wish all this rain can stop, right? So, back up. Let me include this part right here. Natsumi and Kisuke went to see this guy who was basically telling them about, like, the water maidens and how water maidens exist every so long, and, you know, how humans, like, they take the weather for granted, but the weather is not theirs. They just inhabit here, and, you know, the weather changes due to, like, the course that it's running. And, like, you know, water maidens have existed just like the great dragon spirit, but there is, like, consequences for the water maiden. So it's really, like, not as beautiful as you think it would be. And basically the water maiden, she is like a sacrifice for the people. Natsumi believes it. She is eating this up. Kisuke is like, what a load of garbage. Like, what a load of complete and utter trash. And so Hina, let's jump back there. She's laying with Hero H in the bed, right? Nagi is on the other side, like, knocked out. They had karaoke. He was happy about the karaoke tunes they were singing. It was such a great time for all of them. Like, it was really nice. I hated that it ended. She tells Hero H, like, she's disrobing, and she's like, what are you looking at? And he's like, nothing. And then he looks at her again. He's like, I'm looking at you, baby. I'm looking at you. So they're crying, breaking down. She's telling him how, like, she was the sacrifice, and how, like, it's gonna be, and how she can sacrifice herself for the sun to shine, and, like, how this didn't start happening to her until a year ago. A year ago, her mother was in the hospital, and her mother passed away. That's whose hand she was holding at the beginning of the movie. So her mother, I'm supposing, was a water maiden too. And I'm just sitting here like, what is happening? Why is this a thing? He is like, you're not going anywhere, Hina. It's you and me to the end of times. Like, if your love was all I had in this life, like, that is enough. We're just staying here. And he was even like, dear God, like, we don't need anything else. If you're real, like, because he is, but he's like, if you're real, I just need Hina and Nagi. We don't need nothing else. Like, we are good. She disappears the next morning. Ooh, she disappears. The police breaks in. They kick the door down, all right? They take Nagi. They take him to jail, Hero H. He has the ring, so he knows Hina is gone. I still hate Takashi, because he's like, you need to wake up. Like, you're a kid and it's so hard to deal with like these situations. You have no morals and compassion in your heart, sir. Like, what is wrong with you? What is actually wrong with you? You are not a police officer. You are a villain. Like, I wish there was some world that existed where I could just love police in a friendly manner. And I do. There are some good cops. Let me just put it in there. But like, y'all are not getting it together in this anime. He still looks like Johnny Bravo. Nobody can change my mind. So they get to the station. He's like, I'll talk to you when we get in the interrogation room. They trying to lock my mans up. He's like, nope, beelines. He gets out of there. Natsumi is like, beep, beep, who's got the keys to the Jeep? Your girl is going to set you free. So he goes to where he assumes Hina is, like where they can meet, like where she showed him, you know, like about the water or whatever. Kizuki is in the building. He is telling him, like, we're just gonna go to the police and explain it together. Like, they understand you're a kid, like you're missing, like your parents are looking for you. He slaps Hero H and I'm like, you will not. But he is essentially like, you don't want to end up like me. When they're gone, they're gone. Ooh, if it ain't the pot calling the kettle, because look at you. Look at you looking like you're looking, doing what you're doing in front of this baby child, thinking you're making a difference, sir. Anywho's, he does redeem himself. And he's like, get your hands off of him. And he knocks out Johnny Bravo. And he runs because the police just do not like him, disrespecting him, pushing his face into the ground, all behind a gun. Like, he's a kid. And he didn't even have the gun when you pushed him down. Like, what is wrong with you? Anywho's, the policeman, the other one, his name is Yasui. He's an older man. He apprehends him. The brother, Nagi, his ex-girlfriend, her name is Ayane, and his current girlfriend name is Kana. They were both there visiting him. And the policeman that was over them, Sasaki, she was like, oh my God, she was so flustered that this man's had two of everything. Two of everything. That's gonna be our song recommendation for the week. Two of everything. CK Kugi. Somebody else. Let me look it up and put it in here. But anywho's, he helps him. He's like, this is your fault. Go get my sister because you did this, chump. So Hero H, he goes, he runs, he jumps, he leaps, he scores. He finds baby child in the grasslands, like, looking how she looking. And so he's like, you need to pray for yourself. We are getting out of here. I don't care if it rains for the rest of my life. Like, I'd rather have you than any sunshine because you are my sunshine. And I'm like, you are my sunshine. It's such an emotional movie, y'all. Like, I think the only reason I did not cry this time was because, like, I knew what was going to happen. And I was just so happy overall that, like, you know how the chills get on you when you see a good moment in a movie? That was me. It was just chill central, and I was just happy that they were a thing. So he gets caught. He saves her, but he ends up having to go back home. He goes back home, he finishes off college, and he's like, peace out, Tokyo, here we come, part 2. He goes back. He goes to see his boss, or old boss, and he's like, what are you doing here? Like, you and her didn't change the world. You're crazy if you think you did anything. Go see her. Like, life is crazy. Life happens. Just go see the girl. Like, you're fine. Which, kudos to you, because, sir, you did make a great comeback. And I think he has his daughter. Ame has also gotten fat. Like, that cat has gotten fat. And I'm like, you are loved. So he goes and sees her. He's like, Hina-san. And she's like, Hodaka. And she's like, is everything okay? Daijoubu? Daijoubu? And he's like, it's gonna be all okay, baby. Maybe he didn't say it like that, but that is what he told her. Alright, babes. So this is the final rendition of the look. How do we do? I love it. As always, you can go check out my TikTok and my Instagram. I post my official photos on Instagram. I post the videos on TikTok just to make sure the copyrights and everything, you know, that I'm good to go. So yes, please check it out. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Weathering Away was such a good movie. It, like I said, it gets a 10 out of 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 out of 10. Like, it is such a good, wholesome movie. It is a romantic movie, and really, it made me emotional because the gist of it for me was like, when you meet that special person, they light up your world. Even if it's rainy, like even if it's cloudy, if it feels flooded with your person, like it is so much better. And not only that, it made me sad to think about like how kids are being treated, you know, like teenagers, because those are very real things that happen like in this life. And so it broke my heart like to see people struggling. And just know that if you are in a bind, like financially or mentally or emotionally, you don't have to stoop down to what other people tell you you have to do. You don't have to do that. You know, there is a way. Like the Lord will make a way for you. Hold on to your morals. Hold on to who you are as a person, and don't let your situations change. Yes, it is hard. It is not easy. Take it from somebody who has been through the ringer mentally, emotionally, financially. It is not easy, but life is not easy, okay? We just have the great and we have the bad, but that's life. Like, that's living, and it's worth living this life, especially when you do have the good. And I promise the good will always outweigh the bad. It may not seem like it. It may seem like trouble is on every hand, but you have to believe that there is some good in this. Like, if you're able to watch, to hear my voice, know that there are so many people who are homeless, who don't have families, who don't have loved ones, who really don't have anything, who are just so beat down and so stressed out, who can't even afford to get like a bite to eat, you know, like they don't have help. So please be encouraged. Like, this movie made me want to be like, I'm gonna protect my child from any and everybody, you know. But in general, just please know it seems bad right now, but it's not gonna be like that always. And if you feel like this is just a bunch of hocus pocus, go look at my podcast. Go listen to some of the things I talk about. Like, I promise you, life can be taxing. Your girl knows. But every day you get up, that's another chance to fight again. That's another chance for you to make things better for yourself. And even if it's simply praying and waiting, do that. But don't despair, because you're going to be okay and you are doing better than you think. I hope you had an amazing week. I hope that you have the best of weekends. Happy 4th of July. I know while I'm recording this, the 4th is tomorrow, but when I post this, the 4th will already be done past. So I hope that you be so safe. Please stay hydrated, because it's hot, all right? It is hot. The weather is weathering with you, quite literally. So yes, friends, I do know that the Lord does love you. May he bless and keep you. Please subscribe, turn on the bells for notifications. Tell me what you want to see, any kind of manga you want me to read, any anime, show, or movie you would like for me to watch. Let me know, okay? I love doing blind reviews, but I love just watching anime anyways. Any ideas you want to see me do and paint my face up with, let me know. This was not what it was supposed to come out for. Originally, it was this. And then I was like, you know what? No, I had this idea, so I thought, why not be different and unique? Because that's me. So anyways, yes, friends, the Lord does love you, okay? I love you, and I hope wherever you are, you have an incredible day or an amazing night. Goodbye, guys. See you soon.